Gamers, thanks for tuning to Fire Chicken Review. Today we're going to be talking about a cool custom deck box that you can get for Keyforge and a company that made it called Tabletop Armory. Tabletop Armory was nice enough to gift me the product that I'll be showing here shortly. I reached out to Ron and he wasn't worried at all about any type of delays. I have to thank Ron again for letting us have this review in and being a patient person. Because if you haven't heard, we've been a little bit in a bit of a move with my everyday work. And so I had to take a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back and we're about to do a good review for you guys. So without further ado, let's get that fire chicken back up, flame on, and here we go. Bam. So this right here, oh, this thing is beautiful. I want to talk about a bit, and I'll be mentioning a few things. So Ron over at Tabletop Armory, he has an Etsy store that you can buy his products from. And basically, it is some really interesting stuff. Feel free to check out the two deck names there, by the way. I also have to give out a shot, and I'll be talking about the deck box here shortly. When you get it, it comes nice and it's all bubble wrapped, so you don't have to worry about that. I will have done an unveiling of this product. But one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that the Keyforge that you see in front of you, the actual lettering, it comes unpainted. And it has the painter, I want to call it not painter's tape, but the actual protective tape on both sides of this plexiglass, basically. And so that way you can paint whatever colors you want. So I have to give out a shout out to my friend Chris, who did a great job just painting the Keyforge for me. So thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. And hey, you got a shout out in my video. So this deck box. The deck box itself, it's not too expensive. I believe you can go on the Etsy store. It's about 20 to 25 US plus shipping. Again, you can check out the link. And it is super cool. It's a modular deck box. We'll be digging in shortly. On the sides, you see that all 7 houses are represented. So you got Untamed, Disc, Logos, Brobnar, Shadows, Sanctum, and Mars. And they're very coolly represented. Let me just lower this down a bit. There you go. So that you can see that. So the only thing for this is that you're probably going to want to go in and paint it. The reason why I got my friend to paint out the lettering is I'm a terrible painter, so that's why I got him to do that. I actually wanted I like the look of wood on wood, so I just left it like that. One critique that I have, it would have been nice if it could have had all 7 houses on one side, but instead being able to have them as large as it is really cool. And the only other critique is that the 7 houses, again, it would have been nice if it was like on one side and if it said like Keyforge on the other side. But you can probably talk to the company. Again, it's custom tokens, custom deck boxes and that type of stuff. So you can probably get what you want. Very cool. As far as this goes, it's just modular. So you can take this out. I won't show what's inside as of yet. But it's all held together by magnets. So let me zoom back up here so that you can actually get a good appreciation. There we go. And turn this around. So here's the thing. So it stores actually 2 decks quite nicely. So it's made, the depth is just perfect. You could probably put a few extra cards. I'd say like 1 or 2 extra cards if you needed to. But it fits the 37 Archon decks quite nicely, no matter what sleeves to be honest. On this side, I have FFG sleeves. I think actually they're both FFG sleeves, so these are clear and these are art ones. But it has different things so that you can really fit whatever ones that you want to use, whether that be Ultra Pro or anything else like Dragon Shield, etc. So some of that stuff. And what's really cool about this deck box, again, it's held together by magnets. And the magnets are strong. Like it takes quite a bit to actually get it out. It's just modular, like I said. So what I did was that I took the box, the bottom one, I used to store just the tokens. This is the token set from the starter kit, which is the Age of Ascension 2-player starter kit. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't. for $5 more, you get all these tokens in here that easily fit in here, except for the die, that's mine. That's pretty cool. So, and I talked about that. You can check out my video if you're interested on the 2-player starter. I thought it was really cool. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. And let's get right into it. So one of the issues I do have with this is that the top is a little bit hard to get off. It's not too bad. It's quite nice though when you look at it. So I'll probably you want to keep this clean, make sure that you don't get any fingerprints or anything like that. But the issue I have is that the magnets are strong, and you want nice strong magnets so nothing will fall out or anything like that. But getting the top, I find it's a little bit challenging. Like as you saw there, I'm not too weak or anything like that, but I find it takes a few seconds to actually take off the top. But once you get that top off here, let me do that again. Just put that down to the side. I'll put it over here. You can look at your decks, and if you notice on the back here, that's a really cool idea that he did, was that you can just take your fingers, so you can just pop your fingers like that and get your decks out. So just doing that, take your decks out, look through your decks. Oh yeah, there's some great cards, right? So take your decks, and it's not too bad. It stores in and comes out fairly easy. I find the best way to do it is just to do like top bottom like that, popping it out whatever way you want. Yeah, so that works out perfectly. I think that's great, storing your 2 decks. Hopefully that's not too loud for you. There's an air show going on at the time I'm doing this review. And again, you can do that for the same, like I was saying. So those were clear FFG sleeves, I believe. And then these were just some art ones. So one of my old favorite games, the Tau Warhammer Conquest, if you ever saw that. And then you can just put those back in. And the magnets that I was talking about, though, are just right on the sides. They're nice and sleek. They don't take up too much room. So without the decks in, as I was saying, it's pretty cool. I love the fact that I always love wood, so being able to do that. And it also comes in different sizes. So this one that I got is for 2 decks. I believe there is a 3-deck size one, and you can probably ask for custom ones, of course, going up in price depending on how much material is being used, right? So for the other one, I just stored all of my tokens in here from the starter set, like I was mentioning, and I had a few other things. So this is literally just all starter tokens, just putting in their card in here as well. Yeah, this works perfectly. So with this, you actually get, it's all modular. So what you see here is that there's some that I took out because I want to be able to say, hey, there's room if I want to. You could store another deck down here. The only problem that is it doesn't have the holes like you see for the decks up here. So I probably wouldn't actually store decks in here. But again, you can change this wherever way you want. So you could have had all 3, could have had that in here. I'm only like lightly placing that in here and then placing that so you could have it all the way across. Instead, I took out this one, I took out this, and then I just did that. I thought this fits everything perfectly, that works out. So storing all my power, damage, actual amber, and my stun tokens and whatnot here. Works out perfectly, and you got all your keys, so you have enough if you just want, just from that 2-player set like I was mentioning. I'll store it nicely in here. Let me know though if you guys store your cards or what else, how you manage this if you have one of these. So yeah, the only other interesting thing that I would have liked to have seen as well for this is that, as you notice, they're both the same, just different design layouts for these. So I would like to see more options. So like I was mentioning, maybe saying Keyforge, they might be able to reach out to you, have your name on here, or just say like have this as prize support. I'm always for custom prize support for these tournaments. So saying like Gen Con or local store name, input on the sides or something like that. But overall, I think the craftsmanship is really good. This wood's gonna last you. I should mention this came to me pre-assembled. I think they all come pre-assembled. I'll have to reach out again, which is fantastic because I like getting my tokens and not having to mess around. The only work that you have to do is you have to paint. Again, thanks Chris for painting this. So this came taped up, like I said, and you can paint the Keyforge, and you probably are going to want to paint the sides here, like I was mentioning. So that was a quick review here. Let me put everything back together. Easily snaps in. Having my decks go in like so. Or maybe. Put my other deck in. If I don't mess it up. See, the pressure of doing a live review. Put my deck in, do that. Snap that on top. And this has been Tabletop Armory. Thanks, Ron, again, for letting me do this review. I think the product, I definitely would recommend checking out their products. Not too expensive, great way to store your stuff. And it's definitely going to be something of interest when you go to your game, opening up all your things, having your deck box off to the side, having a spare deck when you're not sure which one you want to use for the tournament for that day, or just playing some casual games. So if you liked the review, liked the Tabletop Armory, don't worry, I'll have the link below. And you can like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you thought of it. Thanks, guys. Cheers.